Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Man-Made Thoughts. My name is Cortez, and here I am with the review of No One Left to Fight, number 4. The same issues that I had with the other 3 are still in this issue. But before we start, No One Left to Fight is written by Aubrey Sitterson and drawn by Fico Ossio, who also does his own colors. And it always says the comic you've always wanted, but this is a slow burn comic. This comic is so slow to take off. I'm not even sure. Like, I know that the 5th issue, it's saying that um it's gonna pick up. It's pretty much just gonna be a big brawl. That's what the last page of this comic actually says. I'm hoping so, because this is kind of boring. And yeah, it was showing signs of life around issue number 3, and then like 2 really, but then 3. But so we get into it. This one is called Into the Arboreal Sanctum. Anyway, we got Billy Katz. He's back, and he's just giving us the review of saying, you know, they came back, they drove through, they went to Mistress Harga's house, and, Vale ended up turning down Wenda for Krysta. Krysta, who is married to Timor, she refused his advances, and she's still been refusing his advances, and that's where we come in now, where they are into the Arboreal Sanctum. They actually go through a mist. This is the most Dragon Ball scene that I've found in this series so far, is that we find out that Krysta is actually a techie. And what I mean by that, she's their resident genius, Boma. She's their Boma, And, they're like lost, and they're trying to figure out, well, where do we go? Do we take a right turn in Albuquerque or what? So, they find out, oh no, this is it. We're way off course, only to find out that this mist is actually made by their old friend, who is just trying to keep his place safe. So he creates like a confusing mist. But we get to this right here. Little bits of character interaction between Vale and Krysta, where Vale has his arm clearly on her shoulder, and he says, because they were just making fun of Krysta's driving before this, and Vale is like, I think your driving's great, Krysta. The swerving keeps it exciting. And Krysta, you could see this look on her face. It's just like, why are you touching me? And slap off again. I just don't get it at all. All this mist. And we can see that Timor clearly saw that, So he says, maybe it's a warning. Maybe we should learn to take a hint. And the hint is in bold, because Vale has continuously made advances towards this guy's wife since issue 1. So take from that what you will. Anyway, we get introduced to 2 more characters. We got Kaya, and we've got, I forgot what the big dude's name is, but Kaya, he's really, really little. Like, he's a little dude, and this is a big, goatish man. And anyway, they're hiding their home. They're clearly in a smally-tally relationship. Not that there's any problem with that, Whatever, everybody needs somebody. And it's kind of implied, but you kind of have to read between the lines of what he's actually showing Vale later on in the series. So anyway, they meet up, and they find out that the kid's back home. This is his house, the Arboreal Sanctum, because it's hidden in the trees. And the kids, they're, doing kid stuff with the guy. This panel right here is confusing to me, just the way her hand is placed by what it's supposed to be her shoulder, and she's supposed to be pointing at herself, but it just comes off as weird. But anyway, Timor is mad. He's like, look, Vale's been like putting the moves on you since we got here. I'm getting tired of it. If I see it happen again, I'm gonna wreck his face. And just like right here, it's like, I saw him touching you, and you you encouraged it. And she's not lying, because she's like, number one, I always turn down his advances. Number two, you are my husband. I chose you, so you need to quit like while you're ahead before you become my ex-husband, you know? So then, they go to sleep in their room or something. And we've got the Hierophant doing evil dude stuff. I'm gonna skip a couple of pages. But this is a pivotal scene in the book right here, is that the big dude, I really did forget his name, but he tells Vale that he needs to lighten up and figure out what he needs in his life, because Vale is wound up tight. Like, he's trying to figure out, look, I don't know what I want. I'm just going through a hard time right now. And the big dude is like, look, this is nature. This is where people come to figure things out. And everybody needs a place to go. This is where me and Kaya, the little dude, are found. And that's why I said it's implied that they're in a relationship, because, Vale's talking about his personal feelings and his relationship status with Krysta. He's trying to figure out what he wants. And, the big dude is like, well, me and Kaya, we found each other out here. So, maybe you can do the same thing. So anyway, they're having a big feast, and the Hierophant shows up, and he's after Vale, which is actually pretty good, because I would say this is probably the most important actual part of this whole comic. He ruins their feast, and he summons the Kraken. But he's not the Kraken, he's Bruton. Basically, in the bits of lore, when I saw Fico's drawings, yes, that's the Spider-Man that I reviewed earlier. But in the bits of lore that Fico was talking about, what he drew, and Aubrey was saying that there's a reason why Krysta's arm is a big metal arm and not the normal one. He was saying because there was a battle that happened and her arm was sliced off. It's the same sword that she actually uses in combat. I'm thinking this is the dude that actually took her arm off. And I'm thinking these like blades, swords, all the other stuff on them. Number one, that's a really cool design. It might be over designed, but it's really cool, But so I feel like we're gonna get that, and like I said, in November we're gonna get this. It's the return of Bruton, and it's the biggest, most berserk issue-length brawl you've ever seen committed to the comics page. Now, I've seen a lot of brawls committed to a comics page. A lot of them. And there we go. We got the bits and pieces. Same standard stuff that we always get. But I've seen a lot of fights committed to a comic page. Like, one of my favorite fights was Ultimate Spider-Man... I forget what chapter it was, where Peter is just going sick on Green Goblin because he thinks that he killed Mary Jane by throwing her off the bridge. So he's beating the crap out of him, and even Nick Fury is like, well, he's like, what is he doing? He's like, sir, he's beating the crap out of him. So that was my favorite brawl. So whenever I see somebody saying brawl and throwdowns and slapdowns and all that stuff, if I don't see somebody getting their face beat in by like somebody, and they're just going sick, doing all sorts of all the tricks they can on them, I don't really like consider it like anything epic on the comics page. But anyway, like I said, this comic is a slow burn. Hopefully issue 5 will be the one issue that changes everything, because you have a title called No One Left to Fight. You would assume that there's going to be some fighting at some point. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, I always said before, I'll say it again, this probably should be best contained by getting the trades, because the wait for this to actually do something is really great. Really great. I feel like there should be more pages to this, because if there was more pages to this, we probably might have got some fighting a little bit more often, because it's supposed to be inspired by Dragon Ball, and there's not really any Dragon Ball stuff in it except for some over-the-top looking characters. But anyway, I recommend it just to see, that they make a the graphic novel out of it, and, release the trade. I hate that people would write for trades, but, I mean, that's the world we live in nowadays, so it's not a pass, I guess a soft pass. Like, I'm just getting this to see where it goes, but don't recommend it yet. But anyway, if you like this video or you have a disagreement or you have some kind of comment, just leave it down below in the comment section. And I will try to engage you on it. And thank you for the one person that watched the videos, because you guys are you guy or gal, whatever you identify as, the real MVP of this whole thing. Thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit the little bell icon so you can get all the updates whenever I post things. I'm going to go to a 1 video a day format from here on out. And yeah. And I'll try to keep these videos a little bit shorter because I know people got things to do in their day. So, peace out. And I'll see y'all later in the next video. We'll have Space Bandits number 3 and 4. All right. Peace.